You just get that slaughter against the Doom, and there's no real way the Doom wins that lane. So another very flexible pick here from TNC. Obviously, as well, it does combo very nicely with the Lich Grimstroke, right? Because you have the Frost Shield on one end, you've got Inkswell on the other. So no matter how you lane the Slaughter and which support you lane it with, it is still really going to enjoy having either support, and so is the PA as well, because you have the Blink Strike.
Yeah, it's just really aggressive of a start here for TNC. In line with what we saw with them from game one. They were just absolutely running down early on, trying to win out their lanes hard. The heroes they have on hand now will enable that. I, it's fairly straightforward synergy as well, right? Like Soulbind, uh, double Chain Frost, always nice to have. Really strong, actually, once you get that going. So that's something MG.Trust will have to be a bit cautious about. And it's surprising they let the slaughter slide through, right? Like we tend to see that banned when you see a PA, but they just kind of let it go. So now you have this natural corrosive haze combo. TNC should be looking to play fairly quick here for the side of Gabby, and we've already seen him again. Game one on his Mars, he didn't really want to farm; he just wanted to fight. MG
Ooh.
Trust though do go for the storm, so feeling confident because they see the PA. There isn't uh, any room for an AM pick here, and they just go straight to it. Now you don't have the most instantaneous stunts. It can be a bit tricky to lock in the storm, and Fearless gets to play that hero. So we'll see how much he can pull out from that mid lane. TNC's got a lot of ways to kind of tackle it in their draft, though.
I like the Storm pickup. Always a big fan of the Fearless Storm. Of course, we did see it in the earlier series, and Fearless was struggling quite a bit, but he did still make a lot of space so that Jackie could farm up, and that game did work out anyway. Still, final banouts now to come before we get to see some more picks coming up.
Hmm. Well, I think TNC, if MG Trust doesn't ban it, Kunkka's always on the table here. Of course, you'd be running a full melee lineup, which, I mean, outside of the supports, all three cores would be melee, which might lead to kiting problems, but I think the Kunkka would be too bad. X Mark to hold the storm down is always nice. And of course, Boat Rum, Torrent for your PA Slaughter is fantastic. That isn't the ban out. So they do go for the Zeus instead, which
Okay.
means TNC could slide down for it if they want
Uh,
to.
I think that's a very good pick, actually, John, for TNC. The Armel Kunka, one of his favorites as well, so it does kind of fit the player very nicely, and it's as you pointed out, it's just a nice way of bringing these heroes back with the X. And I mean, you never really want to say no to more team fight if you're TNC with this draft. Team fight is gonna mean pretty good stuff for them, and even having that boat run buff to really buff up your PA and your Slaughter to make sure they don't die in 2 seconds is always going to be nice. But Motivate.Trust, last pickup, Lifestealer. Okay? Not an easy
It,
game for the Lifestealer, I might add.
yeah, we've seen this back and forth, right? Lifestealer versus PA. The timings are very, very strange. It's always one of those pause one matchups that are really hard to call. Like if the PA goes to a running start, Lifestealer gets torn through. But if the Lifestealer just wants to stand and fight, gets the MKB at a good point, then he can also take control. So it's a rather strange back and forth. Of course, you do have a natural infest vehicle in the storm. The question stands here for MG Trust is who's their support? So probably maybe a core Doom off, or there's room for a support Doom. The issue is with Mirana, ET and Doom are kind of greedy as supports, as a duo with Mirana. So that's something MG Trust will have to kind of get started early on. And TNC do go with the Puck instead.
Okay.
So they want a different way to rip through the back, Dream Coil to kind of stop the Storm. And Armeld's going to have that matchup. I think Puck against Storm is fairly good for the Puck. You have better range. You've got some pretty good right click animation and right click damage. You can kind of keep up with a wave clear. Probably not a kill lane until 6 mark is the typical point. But MG Trust have this Mirana, so Q can look to make those rotations. And it is the core Doom here from us. They're gonna have the Doom PA lane. Just try to bully out the PA as much as possible. Of course, that the Doom can also hold its own. Once you have level 3, you can sustain yourself, you can just play with Devour. So the early aggression here from TNC's lineup and not be able to really punish a Doom here.
Just before we get into the game, John, I read someone asking if I was the Saudi
Yeah.
prince that was investing in the battle pass levels. No,
I
I
saw
am
that.
not the Saudi prince, but I guess I wish I was. With that much money the guy has. My
Yeah.
battle pass, I think it went up to level 800, was it, John?
Yeah, yeah, around 800, I think.
So
840, I think, for
I,
you.
I donated my money to Gaben. I know, I had to give my donation to give my hope for the blessings of Gaben and, you know, did my part.
Yeah.
But definitely
Yeah.
not like the Saudi prince. Shout out to that guy, I guess. You know, it's,
Yeah.
if he's watching. If he is watching, by the way, hello, it's your brother. I run out of funds. I need you to send me a quick meal, please. Thank you.
Add the Lamborghini on top as well, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either, John. Wouldn't mind that either.
Still, this is going to be a great game too here, Mike. Really explosive from both sides. We've got to watch out for Jackie. Like, game one was not good for him, as we've gone back to. But when you give him something like the lifesteal, I think he will look to fight a little bit more. And there they go again. White Ron and Jackie. What are they
Soy
trying to say? So I hiss.
6-6. I can't keep up with these people. What are they saying? SYE 6. I feel like I shouldn't be reading this with these guys. Oh, they're spelling Whitemon.
Oh, there.
Whitemon helping out as well. This is tricky. They're actually trying to
Oh!
go in. Wow.
White
Okay.
Ron,
Soy.
He six. What? And
He's-
Gabby's just like, Gabby's just like, tangin on you.
What does that mean, John?
You know, he's cursing out.
Oh, there it is. My Pro. Big shout out to My Pro, of course.
All of that to build into that?
Well, how have we gone a whole series without shouting out My Pro? Big shout out to that man. Oh, where is My Pro?
Don't- There you go. I have no clue. He's on Facebook. You can see him post. There you go. The Jack's like, don't.
My Pro Total 10.
There we go.
I hear it's My Pro's birthday today, John, by the way. So
Always is.
always
Always
is.
is, man.
Shout out to My Pro Dota 10. Hopefully we get to cast him one day. It's been a while, John. I don't know where the man is.
Absolutely. What are they trying to... Fanatic?
Don't spell that one. No, calm down now. Let's not go that far. Let's not trash talk other teams when they're not even around.
Masaros? No, they stopped. Oh,
That's a-
Jackie loved hanging. Oh my god.
I love these guys. I love that everyone's so friendly with each other.
Oh yeah.
Which is ironic,
Oh,
right?
it's
Because this is SEA of all things. People claim this is the toxic region, but I've always disagreed with that. I've never thought SEA was that toxic.
No, no, definitely not. I mean, I think you have to understand what we do when we throw out those kinds of talk. You know, it's just going back to like the internet cafe culture. You know, it's a little
Yeah.
bit more intimate. You're up close. It used to be you play Dota on LAN, Dota 1 on Warcraft 3 on LAN, right? So you trash talk the dude right next to you. At the end of the day, you kind of shake hands, you pat each other's backs, and
That's it.
have a good laugh.
No
That's
one's
just it.
actually out to hurt each other, I think. That's the point. Like, the intention is for everyone to just have fun and win a game. You know?
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
That's
top lane, Masaros is about to die, and he does. Gabby and Whitemon able to kill him off very early on. I guess it's one way to do it against the Doom, right? It's only level 1 Devour. He doesn't have Scorched Earth. You kill him ASAP.
Yeah, and that's actually level 1 Frost Blast for Whitemon. So they're not playing with a Frost Shield yet. And this lane's going to get even more aggressive once you get those levels up on Lich. And that is the issue for Doom. You know, we talk about level 3 being his major spike in sustainability. Level 1, but level 1 Devour, as you tend to expect, you don't really do much. So Masaros is just going to have to hold out a little bit more. Has a Scorched Earth now, but still not going to amount to much. Still, you are seeing some good presence of mind here from Q trying to cut off, but even he can't trade well.
Dagger out. They are giving a lot of that damage over to Q. Frost Shield not going to be there quite in time, but they do force a leap charge away from that Mirana. So now Q only has one left, and it looks like he is going to be rather low on regen as he does make the rotation out of the lane for a bit. Maybe looking to set up now for an arrow onto Armel a bit later on. Speaking of Armel, by the way, John, he's farming very well right now. 15 and 5 in comparison to the 9 and 0 of Fearless. I suppose that is to be somewhat expected from the puck, because it does tend to have a very nice kind of base damage to start things off, and Armel knows this hero very, very well.
Yeah, it's really quite back and forth. We talked about this for the puck, though, like those slight advantages in the right-click animation, base damage is always pretty nice. So Fearless has to put in the work to make this happen, and he will have to get those rotations out. So we'll see if Q will get that opportunity. Power runes, very important for both sides, but you know, it's going to be a tricky one considering how busy the top lane is. Now, the bot lane, the one lane we haven't talked about, where you do have Boombell around with Jackie, although it's been smooth going here for Jackie for the most part. KP's also been finding some steady farm, though. Not too much excitement yet. There is opportunities if they want to throw the Inkswell out with the stun combinations and the Slardar, but it looks like for now they are just settling on farming here.
Fair enough. Boombell. Be there to make sure that Jackie does have a decent enough time. KB should really just enjoy this lane quite a lot, though.
Yeah.
Everything pretty stock standard across the map, I'd say, John. Very quiet so far. Just one kill out.
Yeah. The one weakness here for TNC is the rotations. So you can see Whitemon camping for that 4-minute rune. It's a Lich. And, you know, same goes with Tim's. It's a Grimstroke. It's not as bombastic as the Mirana or ET. It will get the job done, though. Just no commitment from MG to contest, and that gives Tims a nice haste to run around the jungle with.
Radiant's courier has been killed. The dice.
Q still roaming around. Masaros having a very tough time in this top lane. Gabby essentially free farming, which is what he tends to get done on these PAs.
Yeah. It's again, it's a bit surprising that Q hasn't gotten the space to rotate, although it's Masaros.
They're gonna get jumped on here. Masaros gonna try and go for a run, but Gabby has the slow with the Frost Shield and the dagger out. Masaros out of Scorched Earth, basically. He still has it active, but it's not doing too much, and Gabby is able to pick up another kill into Q, who has one leap charge, has another, and it looks like he has a third. He'll be right. Just TP out of there. But Gabby going back onto Fearless now. He does take the banner in away from the storm, but needs to be careful of the damage. Vortex there, but Gabby evades a hit. Back on a Fearless. He's not level 6, and he is going to go down. Fearless really needed that that bounty rune, but doesn't quite get it.
Been a slow start overall for MG.Trust, and they might maybe trade bot, but even if it's a Lifestealer versus Slardar, Strength versus Lifestealer, Jackie's just not able to maximize it. He can't really be safe with just Rage because of how KP's Bash of the Deeps goes through that immunity. And the biggest hurting point for MG.Trust is mid. Fearless off to a very slow start means his Orchid timing's going to be late, means that his Power Spike's going to be late, although Q is around, but doesn't land.
Green coil, mid lane. Fearless still level 5 right now. Gabby's going to make a quick rotation out. Fearless tries for the Vortex, but there's no way out of this. He's going to go down again. I love the fact that TNC continues to focus in on this Storm prior to that level 6 mark. They'll kill him for the second time, and Fearless, he is not having a great time at all. And John, by the way, all 4 kills right now are on Gabby. Tim's, meanwhile, going to go onto Boombell with Armel, having a double damage, wanting to keep going. Boombell very low, but we'll be able to try and juke this out. Still Armel wanting to go for more, but he is out of spells to use, or maybe not. The orb is just going to be used to escape. It's going to be all right.
Still a really good start here. As you mentioned, Gabby just being so willing to jump around is really giving opportunities for himself to find some farm. Now, there are some massive stacks here for MG.Trust that they haven't been able to contest, so that is some recovery here for Masaros. But with this kind of slow start, you're expecting the Doom, the Storm, and perhaps even the Lifestealer playing in that jungle. There might not be enough jungle space to really get all of these heroes up to snuff in time. So they've got to watch themselves here, MG.Trust. They need to hold on to these towers in case TNC starts to push, and we're looking at that timer. We're at the 7-minute mark. Normally, we see a tier 1 going at around 7 to 10 minutes. They're going to have to hold out when TNC makes that aggressive move.
That they will. They might just wait for the next siege creep though, to really start that push. In fact, top lane, John. Masaros again going to be jumped here on this turn. Frost shield out. Masaros, he just moves so slowly. It's in slow motion as Armel going to take the kill and jump into the backlines now. Doesn't really find out Q, but does have a Dream Coil. He's thinking about it. Eventually thinks better of it. Everything's going to be okay. Meanwhile, bot lane, the jump is going to be there onto KB with the Vortex out from Fearless, but KB, a 3-man stun. He's going to try and make a run for it, but there's no way out. Infest was there from Jackie. He makes sure he takes the kill for himself. He does.
It's a concerted effort, but they do at least find one kill on the board. It's still Armel in this.
Boombill again going to be in danger. Armel, he has the Dream Coil, but he just doesn't need it. There's no way for them to help him out. TNC continue to dominate this game, number 2.
It's just so difficult, and you can see Masaros again just solo.
Again? Salves up, Gabby looking for the hit, but can't get it. A nice stomp away. No, he's going to dive in anyway. Gabby doesn't care, but he's been doomed up. That was not the play, but can he get away from this? Arrow is available on Q. He won't use it yet. Does go for the close-up, but here comes KP to try and help out. Still Gabby trying to run. That doom damage should kill him off, and eventually will. Masaros gets the kill. KP does trade with Q, but it's definitely a very important kill for the side of Motivate.Trust to get.
Yeah, they managed to slow down that PA just a tad. A bit too aggressive there, Gabby. Gotta know your limits. Masaros, very good turnaround there in the end. It was really the fact that he juked around the trees, getting his salve off that enabled that play. So props to him. Now, MG.Trust, they're not actually lagging too far behind. Like, you look at Jackie's farm, it's matching Gabby for the most part. And Gabby will be going for the Battle Fury build, but with a faster buildup of Armlet, I think you can expect Jackie to be ready to at least play around the map a bit more.
Tim's onto Boombill. And with Gabby there, it's going to be his 5th kill of the game now. Gabby, if this keeps up, John, he's going to have an extremely fast Battle Fury timing. Definitely going to be sub 15 minutes for sure, but way earlier than that, as he has just had such a free game, apart from that one death up top.
Yeah, it's going to be a scary time if Gabby's allowed to just free farm like this. You want to see MG.Trust take control of that jungle, but they're not in a position to push. So as long as these tier 1 towers stand evenly across the board, TNC is always going to be slightly happier, considering that they are slightly more efficient at this point. You know, Gabby's just able to clear these camps by himself just fine. And Jackie is looking at the armlet up, basically. He's got the recipe flying in. So our life healer can maybe look for infest plays, but your storm's still way too poor. You're still looking for Fearless to finish up his Orchid, and that's still a few hundred gold off. And meanwhile, TNC, they are getting ready for their own tier 1 push at last. Up top, KP's ready to at least shove in.
He is. Got the siege creep there. They want to just get this tower down. Same thing happening down at the bot lane. In fact, Jackie was trying to go onto Tim's, but will not bother. Will instead go back towards that tier 1 bottom tower and get started. Double glyph up. Just protecting that siege creep. The KB. He's going to TP in. He does not want the direct trade, but rather wants to defend, but Fearless. He's going to jump in onto Tim's, gets the kill, but here come more rotations. Armel, he's going to come in with a Dream Coil out. Chain Frost is there, and oh, Dream Coil, it's missed. Lands on nothing from Armel, but he's still... Oh, Jackie!
Oh, boy.
Jackie! Ooh. What the hell was that?
I'm not sure.
Did he just accidentally walk the wrong way?
Maybe? Maybe he was looking to get an infest. Looks like he was left behind. Rather unfortunate, but TNC now find themselves 3k up, and they still might be able to catch more if they're not careful here.
Yeah, no Dream Coil up though. Masaros should be just fine. Bottom lane, Arrow is out onto KB. B needs to just pop the sprint and try to get out of there, but Boom Bell should be able to just set up for a stomp. It won't land, but Fearless now is zipping in. He loses half his mana and does not actually get on top of the Slider. Again, TNC are just going to defend that bot lane while Armel does split push the mid lane, and that's going to force Masaros, instead of joining his team with that Doom up, to just try and defend the mid tier 1 tower. And that he will. It's going to be kind of annoying though for MG.Trust, not being able to use this Doom off cooldown and still not be able to get that tier 1 tower, as now they have spotted out some ancient stacks here for Gabby. Jackie, he's going to try and get started, but they are not going to let him take this for free. They are going to get aggressive here, TNC. To Jackie, KP, straight onto that Slider with the stomp up. He is waiting for his team to get in close. They can get the Vortex off. Back onto KP, but a nice stop. It's not going to matter, however. Now the Chain Frost bouncing through. A double Chain Frost, in fact, and Gabby gets in onto Fearless. Kills off the Storm. Can he deal with Jackie, however? He'll give it a shot with the Dream Call and the Gaze out. Jackie, he just melts. Gabby has too much damage. Now Boombot trying to TP away. He's going to be alright. But they protect the stacks. Gabby has a 13-minute Battle Fury. And that T1 bottom tower is still standing.
Now that was just perfectly timed for TNC. They defend the stacks and then immediately clear it with a fresh BK, with a fresh Battle Fury. So they're dancing for joy there. MG.Trust, they're just kind of running in, but the equations aren't adding up. They didn't have Masaros, they didn't have the Doom. They need that Doom out to get control here. And TNC 14 minutes in, 5k ahead. That is not a good sign for MG.Trust. They need so much more time to farm. We need Jackie to get into this, looks like Sanj into MKB. He's gonna need that MKB if he wants to do any damage at all. Fearless as well has to somehow find the farm to get the Orchid. And we talked about, you know, how much farm needed to go through for these heroes. If they start to fall behind, well, this is that point where a couple of these cores now have to dip into the opposite jungle to find some safe farm. And with these, you know, with these towers still standing, that's never safe. And TNC are just, they've got all the room in the world to walk around. They've got half a smoke here just on Tim's, but...
Armel onto Jackie. We'll just avoid the lifestealer. Does not want the fight with him. Arrow though, nice out from Q. Just not really going to be enough. So there is not really much follow-up onto Armel. Masaros though gets a nice Doom off onto the puck. Very, very patient play out from our Doom. And that'll be, oh, nice deny, Gabby. He blinks in for the deny. He gets it perfectly, but now the Earth Splitter with the Stomp out. This could be disastrous, Gabby. He's vortexed up with the Inkswell, though. He might try to fight back. The Chain Frost comes through. The double stun is there, and now with the Gaze, they want to turn on Boombell, but Fearless is going to go after the PA, but they can't hit him, Gabby. He's juking him out. They can't get him at all. They'll try onto KP with an arrow, but none of it matters. Nobody is dying. Everyone needs to leave from Motivate.Trust. They have lost everything. They get nothing.
Oh my god. On the edge again, TNC. Someone's waking them up on the right side, Mike. Just on the edge, finding everything they'd want. And MG.Trust, the execution falling flat. It looked like a good Doom for Masaros, but they couldn't find a kill. It was just denied, so it kind of washes all of that down. Now that does lead to Masaros actually getting a blink, though. That should simplify the process, but I think TNC, knowing that that spell is down, they have the Dream Coil. They don't have their support ults, but they can still look to make a play without worrying about the Doom. That's going to be a long time for the Doom, about 1 minute, 10 seconds. So TNC could easily look to perhaps pressure a tower if they wanted to, or just go hunting for kills.
Bot lane Armel. Take down that T1 tower. Very late T1 tower down to that bot lane to be taken, but better late than never. It's not really like it's affected them either. I mean, Gabby is just farming so freely. Almost 10k net worth and is just way ahead of Jackie at the moment. By about 2k in front. Deso up soon. Aghanim Scepter straight after that. No need for a BKB this game for Gabby apparently. See if that pays off. Whitemon gonna go on to Boombell. Mel, does he want to commit the coil? Yeah, it looks like he will. Let's get a nice kill, and Fearless now wanting to switch back around with the Orchid out does get Armel. A very nice trade out for MG.Trust.
Yeah, that's a good Orchid reveal there for Fearless. They find a very big kill, and that's enough to kind of give them a good spot here, although they have to worry about this jump in.
Gabby. The kill off Q. Gonna go now onto Massaros.
Cautious
go back
about
in.
this one.
They have the
There's
chain
Deso and
frost.
Gabby. They're gonna
Yep.
melt.
They are gonna melt, that's for sure, John. It's critting for about 850 damage on the neutrals. Pretty nice. We are 17 minutes into the game. Thing is, you might want to wait for Armel, and he's got 10 seconds on the Dream Coil, so they're definitely going to want that first. But Armel, he's got the boots of travel, so he will rejoin his team now. Motivate.Trust, they're just going to sit back and try to relax a bit. Buy more time for Jackie to get that MKB up so he can actually fight the PA. So right now, he just keeps missing every hit. Asaros is going to take care of that mid-tier 1 and just keep it protected. Just got to buy time and space. That's all there is to it.
It's gonna be a long time though for Jackie's MKB. It's just slow going. The lifestealer just doesn't flash farm too fast. They do have this space down in the opposite jungle, but there are some good wards here from TNC, so they know.
Nice orb.
Here.
Very nice orb out from Armel. Now up towards that top lane. Everyone TP's in. Fearless, got to be a bit cautious here. Gabby just kills off Boombell apparently. Fearless, not running away yet. The gaze comes in. Ooh. Gabby! Oh, it's a lot of damage, John. It's I didn't think the gaze would be enough to hold down the storm, but apparently it was.
Oh man, it's this ward. It's this TNC ward watching your own jungle. Again, keeping track of these farming patterns on MG.Trust. The sentry right outside range. So really unfortunate for MG.Trust. And this Roshan will not last, Mike. Corrosive Haze, PA, you couldn't ask for a faster Roshan than this.
No, you couldn't. They do jump in, however. Masros trying to get in for a stun, but the Aegis was picked up, and now the double chain frost gonna bounce through. Earthsplitter is there, but Jackie, he cannot fight this. He needs to run before Armel gets the Dream Coil off. Nice attempt, but yeah, no cigar. TNC gonna walk away with that Aegis. Gabby gets an Imp Claw. Fair enough, Gabby. You didn't have enough damage yet. Give him the Imp Claw as well. He'll hold on to that.
You gotta love it. When you're ahead, you're just even further ahead now. 6-19 at 20 minutes in. 5k lead now for TNC. MG.Trust still waiting for the MKB on Jackie. Still about 1,600 gold off. We're seeing Fearless here rush to BKB as well in his Storm. Just to be able to stand and fight, no?
Yeah, Fearless doesn't want to be here right now. Armel got perfect vision. Inkswell as well with the silence and the Dream Call. Perfectly timed from Armel. Gets Fearless. Now gets the Yules off onto that Mirana. She does have leap charges. In fact, she'll turn around for an arrow. And here comes Jackie. He wants the trade, and he might just get up at the phase shift. It's going to be there, but Jackie. Nice pick off. He does get a bit of revenge there for Fearless. All things said, it is still an even enough game, but the thing is, the puck's not what you're going to worry about. It's Gabby. He's the one that's just out of control right now. In fact, down towards the south, it looks like Whitemon does get caught out. So it's another nice kill here for the side of Motivate. But Gabby, he's going to jump in by himself. Almost kills off Massaros. Commits the blur. Jackie, willing to fight. Doesn't have the MKB finished yet. Is about 1k off. But Gabby isn't done yet. Jumping in again, but Fearless gets the Vortex off with the Doom out. But KP, a 3-man stun. Now Gabby turns back around. Shreds 2 of them. Jackie trying to run. He needs to not get critted right now. It won't even matter. They kill him off anyway. An arrow out onto Gabby, but he has the Aegis of the Immortal. He doesn't care. KB just with the 3-man stun there in the last team fight, and Gabby, dagger almost kills off Q. In fact, Gabby's going to dive. He wants to go for this Mirana kill. He'll get it. Onto Boombell. He crits him for 1.2k. Gabby, that's enough. These people have families. That is enough from you, sir.
Oh my god. That is just filthy of Gabby. Just diving in, and he's not scared. This is a PA with no BKB, no defensive items at all. Not a worry in the world. Going for the Basher next. Tier 2 mid not gonna last, and MG.Trust. They need so much more farm to get going, and Masaros...
Masaros needs to run. Jackie is going to preemptively TP in. He knows he needs to help, but what Jackie really needs right now is that MKB. They just have no chance without it, and Gabby straight onto Masaros just deletes him. Where was he anyway? Back in, onto Jackie. He's been stunned up again, trying to run. The Chain Frost bouncing around. Fearless, he can't escape it.
No.
Boombill ends up killing his own teammate and Jackie. Oh no, Boombill.
Oh boy.
Oh.
This is painful.
You know, Fearless last game, he died because the neutral item wasn't picked up by his supports. In this game, Boombill is going to get in trouble. Some words will be exchanged in the team chat right now.
Yeah, it's just so awkward because they're trying to position themselves, and that Chain Frost just keeps chasing. So now high ground for TNC at 23.5 minutes in, and it's just gone.
This draft was just way too good from TNC. They just got everything. Okay, but look at this. He's gonna. He doesn't care. He knows he can 1v5 them right now. He kills off Boombill with no crits. Onto Masaros. There's your stun out. He's been deleted. Fearless tries to help out. He needs to just get out. Gabby might just turn around, but they commit the buymax. They're gonna try and fight. Motivate.Trust zipping back in, but Fearless, he is just out of mana. He'll get the Yules off, but Gabby, he's thinking, do I want to turn here? But he will not. Nice little pick up there for Motivate.
Yeah, it's it cost them a couple of buybacks though, and you can see TNC, they're just looking. Oh,
Gabby. I think I'm just gonna follow Gabby the whole time now. Just, what else do I look at? This is the man to watch.
Look at his Q up, Mike. Divine.
Yeah, Divine. I mean, there's not enough damage yet for Gabby. He's not one-hitting them, John. He needs more. Onto the Mirana. She's been silenced. The Inkswell doesn't really pop on her. She tries to run. There's no running. There is no running. Look at Gabby TP down to the bot lane. He sees someone on the map. He doesn't like it. The map looks prettier without an enemy on there. Fearless, can you get lucky? Oh, he gets bashed. He gets bashed. 19-1-7 for Gabby.
You bully.
He's bullying them,
Bully,
John.
Gabby. Oh, MG.Trust. This is just 17, 18k lead now for TNC. There is nowhere to farm. There is absolutely nowhere to farm. Jackie's farming the opposite side by himself. He can find farm, but no one else can. And we're still waiting for the MKB. And oh god, yes.
Yeah, Aghanim Scepter, DD, PA. This is the dream. Jackie's got an MKB now. I don't think it's going to matter anymore, John. I really don't. Not if he gets caught out here. Don't walk back, Jackie. Just go into the trees. TP out. There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yep. It's a smart play. No 50-50 stay around there.
No.
Now, it looks like MG.Trust is ready to play. They've infested in Masaros. They might look for a smoke rotation out, but this is blind. They have no info as to where TNC is.
That's going to be a tough fight to go into, John. They're baiting with Boombill. They're baiting a wild Gabby, but Armel's the one to jump in. KP will also show up. Masaros is being very patient. He knows he has to go after the PA, but no, he goes after KP now. Gabby just waiting in the shadows. Masaros is just going to run. It is indeed slaughter here in this game number 2. At least they're trying, Motivate.Trust, but the Abyssal is now finished on Gabby. And I don't think Jackie can survive through that Abyssal Blade stun.
No, definitely not. It's gonna rip right through, and Gabby is at 24 as well. So if they take any longer, 25 will be up. Coup de grace damage or triple stifling dagger. Both of them are pretty darn good.
Well, if he's buying a Divine Rapier, John, he may as well go for the extra damage. Masaros, though, nice stun out, but he's been Yule stumped immediately by Armel. The arrow's there, but KP is there trying to help out, and Gabby gets to work now. Getting a double, getting a triple kill. The cleave is just destroying Motivate.Trust, and Jackie's had enough. He's had enough. Let the torture end. TNC will win it 2-0. 23-1-7 on our PA. almost the perfect score, but it may as well be. TNC, John, they had their monster this morning. They're looking good.
That they did, Mike. MG.Trust, they did have to play back-to-back series. For some teams, that really does put a bit of a spanner in the works, and that did give TNC the chance to watch the game plan. MG.Trust tried to recreate it in game number 2. In their second series, in the first game, Without Faces Void didn't work out. This time around, Lifestealer into PA didn't work as well. Like the support duo of the ET plus the Mirana as well just couldn't do enough. I think they couldn't leave to secure the mid lane for Fearless. That was one big hurting point here for MG.Trust, and it just fell apart. They gave so much space to Gabby early on. It's a PA with a slaughter. It just snowballed so hard.
With that, of course, we are going to move on to our final series of the night. It is going to be between Neon Esports and Adroit, and that should be a very, very entertaining matchup to finish us off for the night. It's MLP Dota and johnxfire. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes for some more SCA Dota 2 action. We'll see you soon.